For those of you trying to get a good night's rest, I'm sorry for making the most interesting video in the world. Today we'll be talking about salt. What in the world actually is salt? I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you. It's sodium and it's chlorine. And it's bounded together. Now, what actually causes those two things to stick together? All it is a couple protons, a couple neutrons, a couple protons, a couple neutrons, some electrons, boom, together. Because sodium has a positive charge. It has to do with the ratio of positrons and electrons and, kind of neutrons on the atom itself. Chlorine has a negative charge. Like magnets, they stick together. For those of us who ponder about the beginning of the universe, the beginning of life itself, way before life itself, the beginning of matter, time, this one constant, opposites attract, positive and negative charge. Without it, life itself could not exist. But where does that come from? If you have nothing, how does a charge form? Where does that law, what breathed that law into existence? It is one of the most fundamental principles of chemistry, of physics. And without it, you couldn't be listening to this video right now. And this is table salt. Now, if you notice, they have the Steelers emblem here. Not sure how they got away with that. And this is actually good, free-running, superior iodized salt. It's free-running, folks. It's on the loose. It meanders its way through crevices. And in some cases, it cannot be stopped. This salt supplies iodide, a necessary nutrient. What is iodide? Don't worry about it. Over here, no, I'm just kidding. Iodine is it's another chemical in the periodic table of elements. I really don't know much about iodine. Iodide, if I recall correctly, is two iodine atoms bounded together. Let me fact check that real quick. And while I'm doing that, we need to look at this. I told you before that this is just sodium and chloride. Whenever we talk about generic drugs, they are very simple molecules. You cannot get any more simple, really, than a sodium and chloride ion stuck together. It is like as close to nothing, really, as you can get. I know that's not true, but it's very, very close to nothing. It doesn't get any more simpler than this, for the most part. So why are there generic? Why are there several brands? How could their sodium, which is comprised of positrons, neutrons, electrons, how could that be any different than anybody else's? By the way, iodide is the negatively charged ion of iodine. So I was wrong. To bicker about brands of salt is a waste of breath. Maybe you could say the purity may be a little bit different. Maybe, I'm not really sure. 491 servings per container. 1/4 teaspoon contains the amount of calories listed here, which is 0. Total fat 0%. Sodium 590 milligram, 26%. Total carbohydrate 0 grams, 0%. Protein 0 grams, 0%. Iodine 67 microgram. Why do they put iodine in here? As we already discussed, salt is just sodium and chloride. Why do they do that? I'll tell you why. It has to do with your thyroid gland. Iodine deficiency happens. Your thyroid needs iodine to produce the thyroid hormones that it needs. Without that, you could get all sorts of different metabolic diseases that come with that. Because iodine is used in the T3, which is a hormone secreted from the thyroid gland. That's or T3 and T4. T3 is triiodothyronine. T4 is thyroxine. It really doesn't matter which one we talk about, because a common misconception is your body will convert whichever one you ingest into what it needs. So it actually really doesn't matter which one you take. If you have to take like a thyroid hormone like levothyroxine, and these molecules have iodine on them. It's kind of a unique hormone, really. Because you don't see iodine used too much in the body, I don't think. So T3, which was triiodothyronine, this is the active form. You need iodine for both, but T3 is the most important part, the active part anyway. And that T3 influences things like metabolism. Okay. Mostly, anyway. It also has a role in like brain function. But without the iodine, your body can't make the T3 or T4, and then, the metabolism part of your body slows. So, a lot of times I hear people say high metabolism. Oh, I have a high metabolism, I can eat whatever I want. Oh, I have a low metabolism, I get fat very quickly, very easily. Okay, that's a myth. Metabolism does not vary between humans, between race, between part of the world. The difference is negligible between people and their metabolism. You are overweight because you eat too much. You are underweight because you don't eat enough. It's as simple as that. Why you eat too much or not enough, that's a whole other discussion. There are lots of reasons why, and it's difficult to correct why. But if you do have a thyroid deficiency, or any issue with your thyroid, or an issue with your iodine levels, that will change your metabolism. That will make you fat or skinny. Aside from that, there really isn't a whole lot of variance. People often get confused about that. This is U.S. salt in Watkins Glen, New York. Now, I pretty much read this entire label already. Oh, wait, what's it say here? We will never know what that says. I have no idea where I got this, by the way. I don't know. It was probably Dollar Tree. I am always shooketh at a company like this. How many of you have ever heard of U.S. Salt LLC? This package looks like it was from the 18-12s. I bet whoever owns this company is a bajillionaire. Ingredients: salt, dextrose. I did not know dextrose was in here at all. Potassium iodide. Oh, it's got sodium bicarb. Yellow prussiate. Prussiate? What's that word? Someone tell me what this means. Yellow prussiate of soda. This is nothing. This is the easiest thing probably to mass produce, and it costs probably a nickel. A company like this has been around since forever. They don't do any advertising. Oh, look at those little babies. I would imagine they don't do any advertising. But it simply exists, and I'm speculating here. I don't know anything about this company, but it's probably been around forever. And nothing's going to change that. Their family won the game. They have this family, this indestructible family business probably, that's not going away. They're always going to have their business partners. It's not exciting, it's very boring. They're making salt, for crying out loud. But they won. They have financial security. And I'm always amazed at this. These very, very, very old companies. I don't know if they were first or what, but somehow they stood the test of time. Take a look at that salt. Alright, let's do a taste test here. Oh, that's pretty good. I'll taste some more. So this has a very, it insists upon itself. It's kind of like an earthy, magnolia. No, I'm just kidding. It tastes like salt. It tastes like, do you know what salt tastes like? Yes, I think everybody does. I'll tell you what, this has been the first time in a very long time that I've actually just put pure salt. Well, it's not pure. It has iodine, it has glucose, it has a couple other things. But this is the first time I put salt on my tongue. It does not taste good. It's very, very strong. I recant everything I said earlier about how sodium chloride is not special, and there's really no way to tell the difference between brands, because this actually does have quite a bit of stuff in it. However, the logic still remains true for something like baking soda. Baking soda is pure sodium bicarbonate. That's it. So to have a pure preferred brand of something that is very simple does not make sense. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter what brand you get.